Hi, I'm Lisa Evans from Speaking Savvy, and today I'm talking to Lynette Delane of Kits and Bits. And Lynette is one of the 16 authors in the upcoming Stories from the Heart Tales of Inspiration book, which is a collection of amazing short stories told by some wonderful authors. And these stories all started off as a live story told on stage at a Stories from the Heart charity event. Now, Lynette Delane is the director of Kits and Bits, and she is a tech translator, which means that she helps business owners to use the software that they already have at their fingertips to be more productive in their business life. And wouldn't we all like that? Because I know for one that I struggle with tech issues. So, hi, Lynette, how are you today?
Hi, I'm very well, thank you, Lisa.
That's good. That's good. So I'm very excited that you are one of the authors in the book, and I can't wait until it's released so that everyone can read it.
I'm a published author.
Yeah, you've got an amazing story. And in reading your story, I found out that you grew up in rural Australia. You're a country girl. So how has growing up in a rural area affected you?
Look, I think it's made me extremely down to earth. Country people or rural people really don't put up with much bullshit. And so you learn to, sort the wheat from the chaff, which is a nice rural saying, very early on. I think it's also been a big provider for me of learning to get along with people of all ages, because when you live in a small country town, you're not just, you might only have 5 friends in your exact age group. And so you learn to get along with, everybody. So when I was a teenager, I was hanging out with people 3 years younger than me and 5 years older than me, because even with that group, there was still only 20 of us. So, and you get to know your parents' friends really well, and cousins and, siblings' friends and all of that. So, I've got friends from now that are, 60 down to 20.
Wow, I'd never thought about that aspect. That's very interesting. Thanks for sharing. So what led you to start up your own business? What was the drive there?
Oh, look, there's lots of drivers. One of the main ones was my mum. So my dad passed away when I was 10. And my mum in the last few years was getting quite elderly and not being able to look after herself quite so much. And I really wanted to spend as much quality time with her as I could. And so rather than having a full-time job where I was beholden to somebody else's schedule, I wanted to start my business so that I could create a flexible life for me and do what I needed to do with her, which turned out to be a good thing because she actually got sick and passed away. So I was actually able to really spend some time with her and focus on that. And then I actually wanted to use all my skills. That was the main driver behind the type of business that I set up. Was I'd picked up all these skills along the way, but at any one time I was only being employed for maybe 2 of them. And so I wanted to create a business that would actually support all of those skills and be a real, jack of all trades.
Fabulous. That's great. And you make it sound easy. It's not easy being a business owner. I mean, certainly a lot of us do it because we want that flexibility with, be your own boss and I can work when I want. But I don't know about you. I'm a tough boss and I've probably worked 3 times as hard as I ever did as an employee. So it's not easy. I take my hat off to you for taking that challenge on. Now, in terms of purpose, we talk a lot about our why, and you would have read the great Simon Sinek, Start With Why. So I'd like to ask you, what's your greater purpose? What's your why?
So, the flexibility was a big one for me in terms of the business, but in terms of my clients, it's really about making people more productive in the job that they already have. There's so many of us, if you're over 35, you didn't grow up with computers. In my high school, I think we had 1 computer in my primary school, which we used to create crosswords on. That was pretty much the extent of what we used it for. In high school, we had 3 IBMs in the computer lab and the rest were all green screens. I had my first computer when I was about 20 and it was a Windows 95 machine. But nobody ever actually gets taught to use a computer. They might get taught to use a piece of software on that computer, but they never get taught to use a computer. So if you're over 35, you've learned everything you know on the job, and you just spend so much time working slowly and unproductively on tasks that should be done really quickly. and not doing the thing that you're actually excellent at and that's your zone of genius. And so for me, this has become my zone of genius. And so I'd rather, hand out those skills to other people so that they can focus on what's really important to them, particularly those who are living a greater purpose themselves. So if they're doing anything to do with, social issues or, making the world a better place, I am all over that.
Fabulous. And it's great when you're really clear on your purpose and you've defined that niche or zone of genius. I love that term. Then it means that you're really clear on what you do, and it means that people know exactly what they're getting and what they come to you for. And it's so true that in business we need to really focus on what we do well and to outsource what we don't and get help doing what we don't. And for a lot of us, it's the tech stuff. It's the back end tech stuff, systems, processes, and all the stuff that makes the business work efficiently. But, most of us really don't like to do. So that's where you come in, which is fabulous. That's good. And what sort of software do you help in particular with?
So I specialise in Microsoft Office, but my skill set, I suppose, is in looking at the bigger picture. So there's a lot of people out there who specialise in one particular thing, and so that's what they sell as the solution, rather than looking at what does this person actually need and then finding a solution for them. So I look at the bigger picture and go, well, have you already got something on your computer, which most people have, whether you're a Mac or PC? There's almost guaranteed to be something on there that will do most of the job. But a lot of people, particularly online business owners, get very distracted by the bright and shiny object of what somebody else has told them they need, who might know nothing about their business. And so, there's a lot of people out there spending a lot of money on software that they actually don't need to, because they've already got something that does the job. They just either A, don't know it exists, or B, don't know how to use it.
Excellent. So you save businesses money too, which is a bonus.
I do.
That's fabulous. Good. Well, I can't wait until the book is released so that we can share with the world the wonderful collection of stories that we have. And I'm delighted that you're one of the Stories from the Heart authors. So to wrap up, tell us, where can our listeners find out more about you?
Sure. So my website is kitsandbits.com.au, kits as in first aid kits. Bits as in bits of fluff under the bed. And I'm on all of the usual social media channels, some more than others. Facebook, YouTube is probably my bigger one. I've got lots of video tutorials and a series of interviews with other business owners on there.
Fabulous. Thanks very much for talking to me today, Lynette. Bye for now.
Pleasure. Thanks.